loses sight of herself. She cannot see. She cannot see the side of herself, she says. When she loses seeing, she is unable to know. She cannot say she is without sight. She loses image or truth as example. She cannot. She is forever seeing. When she loses sight of herself, she cannot see. When she cannot see the side of herself, she says, when she loses seeing, her truth is example. When she cannot say, she is out of sight. When she loses image, her truth is example. When she cannot, she is forever singing. If she said she was to come, then she'll be here.
If she said she was to come, then she will be here. If she said she had thoughts that were her own, then she will. If she said she was done, then that was a true. After she lost the sight of her dog, her life was neither more complete nor less complex. She was allowed no more luxuries, no more gifts. Her license expired, her mail was delivered. No one forwarded any of it. No one. No one.
It is a custom to know everyone in the country. It is a custom to remember no one. It is also a way of knowing all of everyone and a small sum of none. She knew all of the ways which are customs. She heard all of the news which was knowable. All the doors were open. All avenues were traveled. All arches were waiting. All snow fences were planted.
Savings were held. Cards were examples. Fish were frozen. Stories were told, untold, told. Fresh is for example. Nothing is worse for the wear.
The news was torn, the hearts were broken. When all is considered, then these words are sound. Thresholds care to make haste. She climbed the stairs. She studied the door. She called the cat. She was Santa's little helper. All of them called her. All of them secured the door. When she was remarkable, she seemed to forget the edges. She lost count of the ways towards the exits.
The course of events looked as if they could. She voted neither Republican nor Democratic nor Liberal. Somehow it was turning out all right.
All right, all right, all right,
The northern lights were all shadows. She warned the dark of her evasion. She wished all boats good luck, all ships farewell, all poets a rhyme. It was the color that suited her best. The tone of the skin, the color of the shoes, the set, the harmonics, the total, the full deck, the way to behold.
They said the truth and the true tells the certain and the recognition, tells the know and the knowing. They said.
The window is.
The door bolts.
the chicken waltzes.
The wool forgets.
All sheep like Jesus.
All shoes like shepherds.
All ships look away.
All stoves look behind.
All the king's horses.
All the king's horses. All the king's men.
All the king's horses, all the king's men.
The hollow's a source of complaint.
Alice never went there alone.
No fools go there with rabbits.
After the party, her
After the
dress
party.
was soiled.
After the party, she
After the
sang.
party.
After the party, her mood was
After the party.
All direct pauses point north. All cats act fragile. All torn carry lumber.
There, in consideration, the cake rose.
There, the pie flaked.
There, the cookies were sweet.
There, the corn buttered.
There, the curtains were indifferent.
There, the callus counted.
If the image is movement and the eye away in, how can cows care to be curious? How can? There is the dissonance, the tragedy. There is the calculation, the answer. There is all an enclosure.
Listening heartbeats make feathers.
No.
The Yankees are still here.
So curious is clutter. This is also, she was so also, the prettiest one there. I thought so also, I thought so as we waltzed so. No rural nonsense here.
So curious is clutter, Kansas is also, she was so also, the prettiest one there. I thought so also, I thought so as we waltzed so, no rural nonsense here.
She watches while she listens and listens. Is it possible not knowing all these little stumps, these no's placed anywhere, like stones, like stones? These sentences placed anywhere. Ambitions, decisions, they sound good.
Here
She
Goes to
the
larder.
Here
she
goes
To
fetch
the
lard.
There are
simply
too many choices. There are
simply
too many. There are
simply
there are not.
It is a quarter
It
to
is
three
a
and no
quarter to
one is
three
but you
and no
and
one.
me.
It is a quarter to three and no one but you and me.
Now, a dialogue. Now, a dialogue. No, she said
No.
it. No. She said it was.
No, it was.
No, she said it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't. No.
No, she said it wasn't her, was it?
Was it?
Was it?
No, she said it was her.
No.
Near them.
No, it was.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, she said it.
Yes.
Yes, she said it.
Yes, she said it was.
Was what?
Yes, she said it wasn't.
Wasn't. No, what?
Yes, she said it wasn't
Yes, it
her,
was.
wasn't
Was it what?
Yes.
Yes.
She said
No.
it was her near them.
Yes.
Yes. And no.
Yeah. No.
No.
She said
Yeah.
as she
No.
listened to them near them.
Yes and no.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
She said
Yes.
as she listened to them near them.
No, she said it. No, she said it was. I know she said it wasn't. No, she said it wasn't her, was it?
No, she said
it was her near them. Yes, she said it. Yes, she said it was. Yes, she said it wasn't. Yes, she said it wasn't her, was it? Yes, she said it was her near them.
Yes and no, she said as she listened to them near them.
In concluding, she turned toward the horizon as north fades, south returns. The sudden movement was not noticed in carrying all show away. She said all these things had to be taken away. Was it taken away? Was it taken away or thrown away?
Taken away.
Or was it thrown?
Thrown away?
No way.
Taken away.
Taken away.
Oh, she said all
Taken
these
away.
things had to be thrown
Taken
away.
away.
Oh, she said she was thinking all the time. There was a significant texture to the painting. She climbed the wall after all. In this age, every edge was at stake, as heartless as the manners. Nothing went without saying, nothing went without knowing. All those who were treading on the ground were not lonely, not tired, no, only in showing. There was a concern, there was a notion, there was a roadblock. There was else and also.
As she shifted her figure, nothing could be considered coincidence. Chance was at last included in the bill, and if there were any further annoyances, error could be figured into the total as it was. Lonely and hollow were still
terms. Given and said were all maintaining encore as the alternative position. Insurance was a narrow beginning, even though I could not pay my taxes. The sun still shone, the rain was still. The sweat was also a consideration. All the lines were as hollow as the next.
It was difficult to tell her anything. Puzzles and fractions, calls, callous remarks were as telling as misinformation. As the objects were, so were the consequences.
The dialogue read. The nuisance ready to sing.
Does the chorus welcome strangers?
Are the curtains hung?
Are the floors swept?
Is the woman sweeping? Is the fragrance popular? Is the lavender?
Are the hearts
Is the
warm?
blood moving? Is the lowing form?
Are the
Is
cattle
hair
waiting?
arranged? Is the necessary hasty? Is the cool ordered? Is the snow more stored?
Do generals
Is
make
the
cakes?
realized notion and the thread away?
Are fish waiting?
Is this information? Is the shelf a way of celebrating? Is all news the same? Is the
Can the corner?
Is the plate flat?
Did the dishes
Is
leave
the egg
and the
ordinary?
spoon
Is
exit?
the cup
Does
of
all
tea
this
sweet with the
represent?
sensory license? Is the choice of
Can the luck be
Is
also?
the new light dessert?
Are all the cups hollow?
Are all the doors without?
She was so capable of singing. She was so ordered, so clear and knowing. When the snow is also, then luck is the way. How often is starch an issue? How cool is the rest? Is close the choice of the slip? Is the organization tolerable while children are not? If only the fingers were reasonable and darts not so direct. As hemlines show edge, so are corners in cornfields. The green is necessary, as is the relief to the hill, as is the rain to the factory. We call all of them this way and leave the others by themselves. A way of exiting is a motion of the hand. All the berries were picked and the dresses pressed. It was another celebration. It was another way.
They all watched then. What was to be next then? They all waited then. What was to be sure then? They all rode then. What was to be next then?
However,
We all came calling. We all like to have a visit or two. We all helped the corn to grow by staying away.
even toward the wall, there was some kind of hope. The hollow is a necessary step. All children take them. While others narrow the thinking, the elevations occur. Even toward the edge, the snow does not care. While we pick the corn, the cow was making thinking. The construction was overwhelming, and there was no scaffolding near them.
They preferred to work in terror. They preferred to work like others did not. They boasted as aggression was not part of it.
The total was not a conclusion, and the wire was a system nearly enough. While the aim was not near them, they called the others lucky.
It did rain when they needed it. It did do all the corrections as each saw fit.
So it could not be called accident or accidental.
As they parted, there was the sense of all good things coming to an end. Even as the corn grew while the child made haste, green was the color, and no doubts were concerned. Even though all gestures made doors open and thoughts shut and notions exampled,
There was a wealth of understanding.
but
The understanding of wealth was like the satin slipper.
All ships were sailing north, all hopes were asked to part, all noise ceases to be still, all wind is justified even though the edge was somehow tolerable. So was the snow.
As Jack to the Queen, so are sixes to sevens, or I'll never sing again, said the rabbit to the hare. Said the tortoise to the turtle. Said the sail to the sea. Said the sad to remarkable. Said the horizon to the horse. Said the cow to the smell. The sweetness is the sweet. All welcome the land of the milk and the honey, the cream and the sugar, the harmony and the tune.
In song is where the singing called the hymn to remember. In color is the harbor where floats ignore sleds. The wallpaper glides over the surface like the glass toward the cloud, like the stone toward the mud, like the tuna toward the sea. It is all fine that answers our sleds and angles make noise. Inside is a memory, outside is also.
She loses sight of herself. She cannot see. She cannot see the side of herself, she says.
She said she was coming.
she loses sight of herself, she cannot see. And she cannot see the side of herself, she says.
If she said she was to come, then she will be here.
It is a custom to know everyone.
If she said she had thoughts that were her own, then she will.
It is a custom
No one forwarded any
to
of them.
remember
Nothing
no
is
one.
worse
No one.
for the wearer.
It is also
Nothing
a way of knowing
is worse
Sing
of
for the
everyone
wearer.
and
Sing,
a small sum of none.
singing.
All had forgotten while the others loaded the ship.
The ship and the ship.
How lovely is the word to you. To me an inquiry is no closure. How is this for a tuneful pleasure?
Even when, even while, even when all gained access to the rest.
Even while all notions were a calculate, it was a happy try. Even while the children are in school, all cruels are equal.
All toes toed and all hearts worn. Yes is the remainder and not and a conclusion.